Okay, Unit 3 review, Day 2, example question 4. Jorge drove 1,526 and 2,500 miles in 5 days. Each day he drove 5.5 hours and then stopped for the day. What is his average speed in miles per hour for the trip? So my question is to find this speed in miles per hour. So this is going to be miles divided by hours is how this looks. All right, so he drove this many miles, so that goes on the top of my proportion because here's my miles, okay? Then this is days, and I need hours, and this is hours, okay? But these 5 hours are important. I've got to multiply these, or these 5 days are important. I've got to multiply these 5 days by the 5.5 hours. All right, so I'm going to change 5.5 to a decimal, just trying to figure out the best place to do this. So 5.5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 2 is 27. I have one decimal, so I get 27.5 hours. Okay, so that goes here. That's how many total hours I have. Now I have to divide this. Okay, so I have my 27.5 divided into this big long number here. So I've got to move my decimal over. So I've got to move this decimal over. And I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this just so it looks nicer because we are dividing by some pretty big numbers here. So now my decimal is between the 2 and the 5, and now I have a whole number. So we're kind of wanting to see how many times this 275 can go into about 1,500. So this is pretty close to 300. So once would be 300, twice would be 600, 3 times would be 900, 4 times would be 1,200, 5 times would be 1,500. So 5 times looks pretty close. So I'm going to try multiplying by 5 and seeing if that fits. So I'm just going to do that over here. So I'm just going to multiply this by 5 and see if this works. So 35 plus 2 is 37. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 is 13. Okay, so it looks like that fits. So I'm going to put my 5 here. And I'm going to subtract. Okay, and I'm going to bring down the 2. Okay, so again, I'm about 1,500. So I'm going to go with 5 again, and that was 1,375. Going to subtract. Going to bring down my 5. All right, and this number is the same as this number, so that's going to be 5, and that's going to wind up to have a 0 remainder. So what was his average speed in miles per hour for the trip? Was 55.5 miles per hour. So 55.5 miles per hour answers my question.